Hey everybody, welcome back to Matteo's Corner. I think pretty soon we are actually going to be at the end. I can feel it in my gut, you know, that we're almost done with Shadows of New York, and it's been a really fun game. I've really appreciated this kind of little murder mystery whodunit thing, you know. But it's time to end this, right? So let's do it. Let's get right into it. The depressing streets of a lockdown New York City. Here we go. Oh, she's at the church. I think of God. Maybe that's why I half-consciously picked the cathedral as my destination. I think of the silver cross adorning my chest, an empty signifier. Whenever someone asks me why I wear it, they hear a different story. I think of these silhouettes that I keep spotting from the corner of my eye. No, I don't even want to imagine what that means. I feel what it means, and it makes me nauseous enough. I think of my clan so closely tied to the Catholic Church. It's a loveless marriage, so to speak. Like, for example, the one between my parents. I think about the great irony of the Lasombra's truce with the Holy See. We are the only ones who stay so close to the Lord's light, even though we're certain we will never ever reach it. Some of us shadows have visions. Visions of comrades who departed this world recently, traveling through some abstract space, one that's disturbing and astonishing in equal measures. They almost reach whatever afterlife there is for our kind, but then get caught and consumed by a dark, monstrous silhouette. The rumor is, our antediluvian wasn't stopped by his final death. He's still out there, behind the shadows, taking revenge for our patricide, feeding on us like Saturn devouring his children. Or Kronos, I think, is what they're referring to. The forebears of every kindred belonging to the 13 vampire clans. These vicious bastards of the third generation created the world as we know it, and some features of our blood are said to have originated with them. Thanks for cutting me out of the internet, you Mesopotamian dickweed, is what I'd say if I didn't have a premonition we might see each other again someday. Somehow. Wow, damn. Crazy. As Dakota would say, it might not be factual, but it is an emotional truth. From joining the Camarilla to panically scrambling for any safe house, it's like our elders are solely motivated by fear. The sins of our fathers are catching up with them, and it's young kindred like me who are given responsibility to clean up their mess, with the constant sense of doom looming over the horizon. We don't talk about salvation anymore. We're just minimizing the impact of damnation. That's no way to live. But then again, maybe that's why they call it unlife. Shit, it's Benoit. Hello there, lost sheep. I'll have you know this shepherd was extraordinarily patient in waiting for you. What are you doing out here while the night is so young? Out for blood? Well, you're in luck. This place offers both the body and blood. If missionaries learned their methods from pickup artists, they would all be like this guy. I'm not in the mood, you sorry-ass bum. Step the fuck away from me or you're gonna be sorry. Oh my. Something troubling you? If so, I can arrange a confession. Or, if you're in a hurry, keep in mind, the path from inner turmoil begins with a friendly ear. And I've got one right here. Kurwa Jabana Toja. I don't know if I said that correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. You want me to fuck you up, don't you? Don't you? Julia, as you should know by now, I always interpret this kind of response to preaching the divine as the devil stirring inside. Is that what it is, Julia? The liar and the father of lies got a hold on your soul? If so, give me a signal, even the smallest one. I'll do my best to spot it. Something swells up inside my chest. I recognize the feeling. The handbrake just broke, and I'm definitely not on level ground. Fuck, here we go. Listen, I've had enough, alright? Enough. Enough of your sanctimonious attitude. Enough of your brazen lack of basic empathy. Enough of your dumb, ugly fucking mug. You're a fucking singularity of stupidity, tastelessness, and cringe. I've met all sorts of horrible shitheads and asshats this week, and somehow none of them have got under my skin the way you do, you motherfucker. Like a goddamn Jehovah's Witness going from door to door, except you're always knocking on my fucking skull going, hey, do you know God exists? Have you heard that God exists? Like... Hold on. Hold it right there. When did I ever say that God exists? Oh, shit, he got you, Julia. He got you. What? I said, what makes you think I believe God exists? Oh, now you're just fucking with me. No, I'm serious. Well, he sounds serious at least. I'm actually speechless. I think there's been some sort of silly misunderstanding that desperately needs to be cleared up. I'm all ears. I sure hope so, Julia. I feel like you must have ignored half of what I've been saying for you to reach these conclusions. That's very well possible, actually. It usually takes 15 seconds of him talking to me to get me completely zoned out. So, to avoid any further mix-ups, I will go back to the beginning and explain the core of my religious beliefs, okay? So, I love the Catholic imagery. I cherish the tradition and lore. I adore the practices, the intricacies of the theology, the messages contained in the Bible. Of course I do. But does that mean I believe that one day I will see the big dad in the sky? Forgive me, Lord, but I don't think so. Doesn't sound very likely, especially for a bloodthirsty creature of the night. So, that's what this is about? Fun imagery? That's oversimplified, but yes, I suppose you could say that. Motherfucker, you ain't Catholic, you're just a weirdo cosplayer! Says a non-practitioner who still wears a cross. Oh ho ho! Ah, well, okay, she just made a good point too. Yeah, but I don't shove it down people's throats for fun in my spare time. I'm simply trying to share the joys religion has brought to my own life with others.
What joys?
Oh, where to start when there are so many? The joy of having plainly understandable rules to follow. The joy of having a structure to your life. The joy of always knowing where to find people who share your values. Above all, it's the joys of being in aristocracy, surrounding oneself with exquisite, luxurious architecture, beautiful classical music, ornate rituals formalizing our actions and relationships. A pursuit of virtue separating you from the masses, the hierarchies, the communities, all serving an idea greater than themselves. It's like monarchy or some Camarilla traditions, but not as Gauchy? I don't know.
So that's what it was? You saw pretty paintings and buildings and thought, hell yeah, I want in. And then you just decided what they mean to you?
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's real faith that brought me to the fold. But eventually I whittled down this religion to its core, to what interests me.
Unbelievable.
But don't think for a second I wasn't empathetic when I was trying to convert you. You are the embodiment of existential despair surrounding us. The one that people usually try to drown out with drugs, sex, work, Netflix, pick your poison. All of them temporary copes. Empty yourself. Kill your ego. Get a routine. Join a community. Ground your morality in something tangible. Start perceiving yourself as part of something greater. All of it good advice by itself, but codified in an appealing, otherworldly aesthetic. One that keeps the beast at bay. One you're almost fitting into the way you are. What's there to hate? The beast. Ah, yes. The beast. The beast is a bottomless pit of savagery and hunger, always under the surface, begging me to lose control. All vampires, Angaru, have it, some worse than others, and it comes in many flavors. I don't know what would happen if I gave in to this urge, but somehow I doubt I would like it. Most don't, because the beast means... You ever seen was it Daybreakers? Daywalkers? There's a movie about vampires that, it's like in the future, and they like rule the world and they're using humans as like food, and then the food starts getting scarce, and this company's trying to make this fake synthetic blood, to try to, like, keep doing that. And then they find out that there's, anyway, I'm not gonna spoil too much of the movie, but the point of the movie is there's a thing where if a vampire goes too feral, it becomes more bat-like than human, and it's terrifying. And that's what the beast essentially is. Kind of. The beast is that feral side of a vampire or a garu or whatever that just wants to be let out to just do whatever the hell it wants. So, anyway.
Unbelievable. You're a goddamn lunatic.
He looks to the sky. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do.
Stop that. Your entire ideology is just aesthetics, you fucking loon.
And how exactly do I differ from anyone else nowadays in this regard?
Stop arguing semantics.
No. You stop. Look at yourself. A privileged burnout who refuses to invest herself in anything. Only started committing to anything when, for once in your unlife, you are forced into a politically charged, dangerous task. Once it's over, you'll be back to being an aimless brat. Desire to murder increases. He is speaking truth, though, Julia. You said that yourself earlier. I mean, that's the thing. It's like Julia, you're digging yourself into a hole here, and I know you just want sympathy and everything, but he's not going to give it to you. Ever since World War II, I've been watching every person and every ideal I cared about wither and disappear. That's the source of my pain. That's the reason I am what I am. The source of your pain, a thing that defines you. People have been mean to you.
Fuck off! People in third world countries keep their heads high while suffering from every sort of horror, but you have a complete mental breakdown every time you remember you have mommy issues.
Wow. Classy.
Oh, don't act like you have the high ground here, you oblivious sadist. All I'm saying is, everyone has a different framework, a different lens to view their suffering through.
Yes, and if there's one thing abandoning your humanity should have shown you, is that kind frameworks are not enough. Petty vendettas, childish romances, pointless power struggles, the dumb gamble that's chasing a successful career. Mommy and daddy issues? Sure, why not? Pain and pleasure dictate everything. Everyone wants something bigger than this. They want to escape from this drudgery. They want psychedelia, but permanent. They want to stare at God's face even if He does not exist. And you can show them how. Accept the cross you're wearing into your heart, Julia. Oh, she's thinking about it. Accept it. Creepy fucker. Just accept it. All right, that will be enough, Benoy. The mood changes in an instant. The sight of Father Leonard takes us both aback. Father, what are you doing here so early? You two are arguing so loudly, I had to come out and check. Even if, with all the panic on TV these days, simply walking outside feels like marching into a war zone. Yeah, I'm sorry. You should be. I was willing to turn a blind eye to your quirks, because I believed you have your heart in the right place. Mostly. But I'm very disappointed in the way you approach folks in need. Right now, Benoy Seagal is displaying all the confidence of a scolded teacher's favorite. Well, I mean, yeah, his heart's in the right place, right? But he's just not really thinking very through all that stuff. But I was just trying to guide her, to set her on the right path. I know, Benoit. I know. That's the problem. The sacristy is open. Please head there right now. We need to have a long talk. Get me some coffee, if you wish. But, Benoit. He slowly slinks away, looking defeated, deflated, debased. I burn the moment into my retinas, etch it on my soul. Oh, poor Benoit. Etch it on my soul, kind of hoping I'll never have to see him again. And this is how I'll remember him. That was weird. For some reason my button wasn't working. Father Leonard watches him closely until he disappears from sight, then turns to me. I feel sorry for him. I keep hoping he might find some basic empathy through faith. But all I've done thus far is let him leave you at the end of your tether.
Yeah, that's some faith he has. Are you okay with all the bullshit he's spouting?
Huh. I don't exactly support it, but I don't reject it. It's like attrition and contrition, imperfect and perfect repentance. You know, one is focused on a relationship with God, the other selfish and focused on personal gain, but both of them work.
Yeah, but doesn't this strike you as completely missing the point?
A bit. Purely secular takes on Christ's teachings on nothing new. Pascal's wager is a boring example, but... Have you, by chance, read Bulgakov's The Master and Margarita?
Sure. Back in Poland, every teen trying to look intellectual online loved to repeat that joke about the talking cat who swears he'd never pour vodka for a lady because women deserve pure alcohol.
That's one takeaway from the novel, I suppose. I read it as a moving depiction of Christ who's not a divine being, stripped of mythic qualities but open for transcendence. Jesus and Satan understood as powerful forces battling within us.
Would have to read it again. It's been too long. Sounds nice, though.
I stretch lazily and take out another smoke. Leonard watches me closely before speaking up again. Julia. 4 hours from now, there's going to be a meeting in the Elysium. The big finale of Celebrations of Power. Everyone will be there, but they were counting on you to not show up. The good sheriff plans to present the results of the investigation in your stead. It's a simple, crude strategy. Might work, but begs to be countered with an outrageous tactic. Take it as you will. Father Leonard, my man! You lovable guy. He is telling us, do whatever the fuck you want. Wow, Father Leonard, you're cool, man. You're cool. You are a cool dude. You know what's going on. The game is about to end. Momentarily, I'm left dumbfounded. All I can muster is an eloquent, "Eh? Oh, don't ask me. I'm just the messenger."
Who relayed this message to you, then?
A good friend. A cautious friend. Wouldn't be able to tell you more than even if he forced me to.
Well, shit. This is the moment that might decide the rest of my days. What would you do in my place, Father?
When I was faced with a dilemma that would shape the rest of my life, the world felt too big and scary and impossible to understand. So I simply escaped from that choice into the seminary.
Yeah, if that's your idea of good advice, I'm gonna have to ask you to shove it.
I would expect nothing less.
Don't you regret it?
Regret what?
You're kind of shady, but don't seem like a bad guy. Still, you have to accept that the people above you are responsible for some horrible things.
If our superiors' acts count as our own sins, then on the face of it, probably half the people in this world are irredeemable.
Clever, but not a real answer. And being a low-level grunt for assholes you find wholly objectionable is no way to live.
I don't know. Is it? I finished the smoke in silence.
I have to go. Don't know if and when we'll see each other again. But when that happens, I probably won't be the same old me.
Of course. But before I leave to school Benoit, let me say one more thing.
Yeah?
These are difficult times. My parishioners keep calling me. The things people are going through, they might never admit. But if this keeps up, it will cause horrifying, invisible damage to this nation. A dreadful darkness is killing us all, little by little, and like every powerful evil, it manifests itself, little by little. Huh. That's some deep stuff. And yet, sinful as it may be, I confess to being strangely excited. For a moment, we're seeing the suffocating normal disappear. This is the time to dream a new world is possible. Walk these empty streets, Julia. Remember how the city feels right now. Bask in its shadows and uncertainties. After the apocalypse comes great rebirth. The Amici Noctis await your next report with great curiosity. I give him a nod and sprint away. Now I know what I must do. And unfortunately, that is where we're going to have to stop. I'm so sorry, guys. I really wanted to finish this game in this episode, but I feel like we're going to get another 20 to 30 minutes of dialogue. But we'll see, though. Maybe it won't be as long as I think it is. Maybe it'll go by really quickly. But whatever happens, I'm hoping that next episode is the last one. And I would assume it's the last one because of just, this is the big meeting. Right? Julia's going to give him the business and we're going to see what happens. And we're going to see what we have to do. Well, that said, y'all have a good one. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you for the finale of Shadows of New York. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.